chaos. I'm telling you, it's a credit here, son.
What's
It's an
that?
absolute credit here.
What?
Making it.
Listen, I just get things done, mate.
Yeah.
As soon as the professionals arrive, you know,
You're no longer required.
no longer required. I can sort of hand the reins over to those who do the work, and yeah, very interesting way to unfold on a Friday
All right,
night.
let's roll straight into it now. Welcome everyone. Sorry we're a little bit late, but
Right. Well, that's how we'd have the double echo.
my partner in crime here just informs me that he's been saving lives.
I wouldn't go that far.
But a lady next door's had a bit of a tumble and she's had a broken ankle, so he's had to tend to that.
No, sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll excuse him.
I'm excused for the evening. There we go. No, anyway, hopefully the.
And we really do treat it with a great degree of respect, and we do try and maintain punctuality. But when he's had to take put the undies on the outside and go into Superman
something
mode.
like that, yes. Anyway, the wonderful local fireys and the wonderful local police and the wonderful local ambos all arrived.
Took care of it.
I think it was just scheduled appropriately, where we still had time to get here and get everything done. And the ladies on the way to the hospital now, they're just moving some stuff around, giving her loads of drugs, and life will be good.
A quick recovery and
Absolutely.
Well,
Anyway, hello everybody.
Hello everybody.
Doing a Nervous Spin Doctors
Hello,
for our
everybody.
Friday night episode instead of a Thursday night episode.
Let's smash through this. Now, my name's Anthony Irvine. I'm a councillor on Temora Shire Council, but none of the views I express here are those of Temora Shire Council. They're mine and mine alone. And a lot of these views are personal views, not even those of a councillor. Now, I'll pass over to you, but come back to me once you've done your intro.
My intro is I'm Dean McRae, and I don't answer to anybody per se, other than, I guess, the Australian people, my family, and those people that I love. And truth, honesty, and the, what do they say? Usually it's the American way. Those Yanks come out, but I'm way cooler than them. Obviously, I'm a little bit of a larrikin, but I do try and say it straight. I shoot straight, say what I think, try to share the truth with everybody where I can, and I make no apologies for hurt feelings. So thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
We try to do our best.
I had a conversation with another councillor the other day, and he sort of said, he gets paid significantly more than me, nearly double what I get per month in terms of a stipend for being a councillor.
Yeah, right. How's he score that?
Oh, it's all on a bit of a sliding scale as to how big your shire is and all the rest of it.
Oh, so not a local councillor, a different. Yeah, okay, sorry.
In another council.
Yeah.
But he said, how on earth is a person who gets paid a pittance supposed to be answerable in terms of code of conduct matters 24/7, 365?
Yeah.
So if he goes fishing with his mates and they tell a couple of rude jokes, truth be known, that would probably breach the code of conduct if he was in the council chambers. But obviously, sitting on the riverbank, just among his group of friends, is he under the code of conduct or is he not?
Yeah.
At what point does this code of conduct kick in, and what point does it cut out? Apparently, people can bring codes of conduct complaints willy-nilly. So what if someone has a business dealing with an individual that they're not satisfied with, they can bring a code of conduct against them because they're a councillor, or if their dog gets bitten by another dog or whatever, they can bring a code of conduct against that individual. I don't know. It's very grey. Like, if they want to pay us to work 365 24/7 or 24/7 365, well, I suppose then we have to perform on that basis. But because they're paying us about 2 hours a week,
I've got a couple of thoughts on that, because I get paid nothing for what I do in this space.
Yeah.
I do it for free.
Yeah, but you, like I say, we're back on this situation where you're.
But I'm not beholden by conduct.
But I'm an elected representative.
Yeah.
So I'm democratically elected.
Yeah.
As are, state and federal politicians.
Yeah.
But state and federal politicians are remunerated in the order of,
$200,000-300 grand a year.
Yeah. And I'm remunerated in the order of 12,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm expected to uphold standards much higher than perhaps those individuals, because I haven't even got parliamentary privilege.
Yes. Now that's an interesting that part. I definitely sort of think that if you have to follow by the rules without the parliamentary privilege, but you can't operate under the same rules that I operate under, where I go, I guess you have a separate set of rules, but you don't have the protection. So there's definitely a hole in that market worth exploring for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just something that's come up during the week, and it'll be fleshed out over time. But like I say, it ain't all beer and Skittles being a councillor, kids. I'm telling you. You know, you're up on that pedestal, and they're just knocking you off it every second. So,
how's your week been? We got the lovely Marie Norell.
Have a look at her. Have a look at this absolute splendid
human being.
Yes. Now, I don't know. Well, look, I'm going to blow my own trumpet.
Right.
There's been a fund established to put together enough funds to have a bust of this particular woman built and placed in a prominent location within Temora Shire.
Okay.
And you'll go, why?
Not on Rick's front lawn or anything ridiculous, is it?
Not going to know.
Hopefully not. Yeah, cool. Fair enough.
And you'll go, why? Who's Marie Norell?
I know who Marie Norell is. I actually had Bill Spears from the museum come onto the radio show back when there was a radio show, not a podcast.
Yes.
And we went through the Cooee to Marie with Coralie McKenzie and Bill, and we talked about their whole production. And it was phenomenal. Probably one of the best shows ever on Temora FM, surely.
It'd have to be up there.
Up there with Ribbo's Last Rant.
But when you take into consideration the achievements of this woman, and it's hard to believe that someone who originated from this area is basically unrecognised in our cultural heritage, and you've got to dig deep, and it's only just from the work of a few really dedicated individuals that we're actually starting to uncover the magnitude of this person's achievements. Now, I'll just give you a little bit of a background. So this lady, Marie Norell, was Mary, daughter of John and Kate Ryan, was born at Combanning Station about 10 k's southeast of Temora in 1870. Now, Temora was dedicated as a town in 1880. We're celebrating our 150th anniversary in 2030.
Yep.
So we're talking about very, very, very early days in the district. 1870. Born 1870. So she grew up in an environment dominated by a busy station life, extended family, and a rich Irish Catholic heritage. As a child, she witnessed the heady days of the rush to the Temora goldfield and made her public singing debut in October 1881, which is a year after the town was actually gazetted.
Well, I was born in 1981, so, you know.
At the concert following the consecration of the new St. Patrick's Church at Temora. So she attended school at the Presentation Convent at Mount Erin in Wagga. And she studied music and singing. And her family subsequently moved down to Candelo, which is down near Bombala, down near Eden Bega type area.
Yep.
Far south coast of New South Wales. After the failure of a marriage to a fella called Matthew Callaghan, a Sydney-based attorney's clerk.
Marriages do that on occasion.
Oh, it happens.
You only get married 3 or 4 times in your life.
She returned to the South Coast with her 3 children and taught music and singing in the Bega and Candelo districts to support a family. And at the suggestion of her friends, she ventured to Sydney to initiate a singing career. But finding few opportunities, she returned to her teaching. And while singing at the consecration of the Cabargo Church, which is down in that area, she attracted the attention of a bishop who convinced her to return to Sydney, where he used his influence to establish her career. So her cousin, Kate Heffernan, offered to look after her children for 5 years to allow Mary to tour. That's a big effort.
That's a solid supporting cousin.
In the 1880s.
Yeah. Only 5 years, darling. I'll be right back. Catch you later, kids.
Her first opportunity presenting itself when she was engaged to substitute for a European artist on a tour organised by flutist John Lamont. Now, in 1898, now this is olden days, officially olden days, Mary assumed the professional name Marie Norell, inspired by a prominent Maruya Aboriginal personality, and sought expert voice tuition between tour engagements. So her Sydney debut with the Amateur Philharmonic Orchestra at the Town Hall in Sydney in June 1901 gained her an invitation to perform at the International Exhibition in Cork Island in the following year. Now, she would have travelled by boat.
Yes.
Because I don't think planes were invented
Certainly
there.
not any commercial flights from Sydney to Dublin.
So, although gifted with a voice of operatic quality and a range of 3 octaves, Marie Norell chose to specialise in the concert presentation of Irish ballads. So her London debut at the Royal Albert Hall for a benefit concert in June 1903 prompted Missouri Governor David Harris David Harris to invite her to appear at the St. Louis World Fair in 1904, introducing her to the American audience. Now, this is a girl that was born where? Cambanning Station in 1870. And she's off to the World's Fair in 1904. While in the US, Thomas Edison engaged Marie Norell to record on his phonograph. Edison enjoyed success in recording the lower male registers, but hitherto had not captured the female singing voice. Her first recording, Killarney, was made in September 1905. So she's rubbing shoulders with the movers and the shakers.
That's a significant... Like Thomas Edison's not exactly a nobody.
Well, he's well known.
Well known, well accomplished, reasonably competent sort of a human being, I would imagine.
Yes. So early in 1906, Marie Norell was engaged by Frederick Shipman for a 3-year world tour, promoting her as the Queen of Irish Song. She subsequently took up residence in New York, where, having finalised her divorce in 1909, she married a fellow called Harry Curry, Harry Curry. That's an interesting name. Chief electrical engineer of the New York Central Railroad in 1911. So he wasn't a mug.
No.
After her marriage, Marie Norell curtailed her touring schedule.
Remembered she had kids left with her cousin for 5 years. Yes. Thought, hang on a minute, where are they?
Many benefit appearances. Her last original Edison recording was made in 1915. So she recorded with Edison for 10 years. But her work remained available by transfer to 10-inch discs until 1924. Following her husband Harry's death in 1934, she moved to England to live with her daughter Kathleen. She made her last public appearance in London musical in 1937. She was laid to rest in the churchyard at Chipping Norton in Oxford, England, following her death on the 26th of January 1941. Now, that's Australia, though. In 1980, when the decision was made to remove the headstones from the churchyard, Father Paul Bateman, the incumbent parish priest at Temora, and a relative of Marie Norell, arranged to have her memorial shipped to Temora for preservation at the Temora Rural Museum.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Now, I'm telling you, kids, if that ain't a story worth telling, there ain't no stories worth telling.
It sounds like she's had quite a magnificent life, that woman.
Well, time stands still for no man, and it's about time she was recognised.
Fair.
For these, people talk about achievements, but this is massive. This person was an absolute rock star
of her era.
And what she didn't do ain't worth doing. Now, there's a movement, and it was kicked off by one of Temora's gentlemen, Earl Kotzer.
Yep.
Now, Earl was absolutely blown away by the story, and he became quite involved. And he attended the Temora Heritage Committee meetings, and he wanted to recognise Marina Rell in some sort of
a fashion. We got a horse on a statue. We've got,
yeah.
So
Earl put forward a proposal to build a statue to Marina Rell and have it displayed in a prominent place. And the current consensus is, and this isn't decided by any stretch, and I'm not talking as a councillor, I'm just saying this is what's been discussed at the Heritage Committee, that they might find a prominent place at the town hall where they might display some sort of a memento or a statue, a bust, or a full-size statue
with a bit of all that you just read out on a nice plaque with it. Yeah, that's really cool.
Well, it's better than that, isn't it? Like, it is massive. If you want to actually hang your hat on something that's an individual who took the world by storm, well,
you'd have to say she's had a fair impact in her day for being a bit of a trendsetter,
and rubbing shoulders with a
bit of a trendsetter.
Yes. So anyway, to round things out and to sort of tie this up in a bit of a neat bow, and I'm going to blow my own trumpet. A good friend of ours, Coralie McKenzie, has pushed long and hard, and she's been a great proponent of Marina Rell's achievements. She's put together plays, and she's quite active in the space. And g'day, Cora, and good luck with it all. She's going to fundraise to try and raise the funds to have this bust
built. So it's a private funding. I like it.
Yes.
What's if you're watching, Cora, in the chat, how much do we need to raise to produce such a?
Well, let's not even worry about the final amount.
Well,
I've got the absolute honour of donating $100. I donated $100 today. I'm the first donor.
Well, put me in for 100, no problem at all.
Okay, so now, Cora, we need 998 people if we want to raise 100 grand to do a really schmick job. Now, who knows what we need to raise, but we'll call it 100 round figures. So now you only need 998 people to throw $100 in. That's not hard. When you consider the achievements of this woman and you consider how much kudos and how great an individual would feel knowing that they've contributed to the honouring of such a fantastic person.
Yep.
Contributing to the heritage of the community. And this is something that people should feel good about.
It's a great story. And, look, I guess from my perspective is if it's community funded, actually community funded,
yes.
not council funded,
yes.
not grant funded,
yes.
not something that the community goes, this is what we want.
Yeah.
Real people.
Yes.
Real people.
Yes, real people.
Go, you know what?
We'll pay the tax.
We'll break off 100 for that for sure. Great idea. Excellent. Well done. That's what it's about.
I could think of no better way to honour an individual of her magnitude, but also to give the kids of Temora something to aspire to. Now, last night we couldn't do our regular show on a Thursday night because I was doing audio production for Temora Public Schools Showcase.
Yes.
And it was great fun. They were a terrific bunch to work with. The kids had a great time. They put on a really good show. And that's what it's all about. These superstars start somewhere.
Absolutely.
And they don't come out of the superstar factory.
Well,
they're born and they grow up in communities just like this one. So I would love to see a kid who's a handy singer actually take Marina Rell on as a bit of a
role model of sorts.
Yeah, and just go, wow, if she can do it, we can do it.
Look,
and the best thing about something as permanent, solid, and lasting as a bronze bust or a bronze statue, it's going to be there for.
Well, hopefully, in theory, it should outlive all of us. Well and truly, 100 years, another
thousands of years.
Potentially.
Yes, it should be there for
potentially
a very, very long time, and it should create inspiration for anyone along those lines. So, look, thank you very much, Cora. She spoke to me today about the establishment of an account.
Yep.
So they've established a bank account to start to raise funds for the production of a fitting monument to this absolute legend.
Yep.
And
And that's a word that's overused. So,
no,
but fitting in this.
But honestly, when you read that
that's fitting.
resume, that is legendary status.
Absolutely.
And I'm really honoured to have been able to just go, wow, here's a hunch. Let's kick this off.
Fair play.
So I'm in. So we've
Send
got
me the details or flick some over. No
yeah, and
problem.
we've got so I'm sure Coralie with the support of Bill at the Temora Historical Society, I think they're the ones who've opened the account.
Yep. Would make sense.
And yeah, look, I can't wait. And I think once people realise, I'm just blown away by the magnitude of this lady's achievements, and I could think of no better way to just promote Temora, promote the arts, promote. It's just a good.
It's a pretty cool story.
It's a massive story, and
it's excellent.
It ain't going to cost us much each to get it to happen.
No.
And in memory of an absolute legend in Earl Cotter, because he was just one of the world's ripping people. He was such a lovely guy, so unaffected and so genuine. I could think of nothing better to see Earl honoured as well in this way.
Oh, I reckon that's a fantastic feel-good story.
Yeah, so
that's excellent.
It's never always negativity.
No,
we've got lives. We're living, breathing humans who've got warm blood in our veins and hearts in our chests. And
I'm not telling people that.
No. They need to know. They need to know because you don't want to be fighting someone who cares. Hey, and look, we care. We really care. So don't pick on us.
Well, that's a really good story. That's excellent news.
Yeah.
What else has been going on this week? It's been a mammoth week. I think we last caught up. I've run a half marathon and nearly died.
That was a pretty good effort on your own. In your own.
Look, I think I was a bit slower than last year when I pushed myself for a half marathon, but I also did far more training last year than I did this year. This year, I think I managed about 3 runs of any value, and then I went and did a half marathon because that's what you do. But now that we had a good weekend down there, that hurt. But it was a
fundraiser.
No, so last year we did a fundraiser, and I think we raised about $2,500–3,000 for the Bears for Hope charity, which is the charity for miscarriage and baby loss. And I'm actually one of my little side projects at the moment, which I've kind of got to get a wriggle on, but things like half marathons got in the way. We're doing an Outlaw Hearts podcast around miscarriage and the stories involved with it, which is it was a very strange thing for me to kind of find myself as a coordinator for that topic.
Yeah,
I just sort of, it wasn't a something that I thought was a natural fit. Usually I'm declaring war on corrupt governments and whatever. But obviously what we experienced, we kind of went, look, let's try and put something together. And I had a real, when I spoke about the miscarriage experience on this program, all of a year and some change ago, the feedback was really unexpected, I guess. I just sort of was honest and direct as I am. This is what we've been through. This is what happened. Happy to talk about some of it. My partner asked me if I'd be willing to talk about it on this platform, and I sort of went, really? I don't know. Does it fit? You know what I mean? Like, you just sort of, it was a bit of a duck.
Yeah,
but water, fish out of water. It fits because it's real.
Yes.
But it didn't, I guess it didn't fit to what I thought was my natural space. My natural space is picking them fights. But look, that project's coming along slower than I'd like. I'm hoping to really knuckle down in the next couple of weeks and tune out. I've got about another 8 interviews with people sort of lined up, ladies in particular who are motivated to tell their stories. And I'm effectively just going to sit there, introduce them, ask a few poignant questions, guide them through the process of speaking on camera with it, I'm just facilitating.
Get them to a point where they're comfortable to tell their story, and then you can shut up and just let them tell their story.
That's it. Yeah.
And I've got no. I've been really fortunate in that journey of starting a family, and we haven't been affected by it. But that's not to say that close by in my family there's been a stillbirth.
Yep. Well, and that fits into that.
At extremely late term.
Yeah.
And that was really, really difficult for everyone concerned, and have to just be, it was pretty horrific. And just to have all the hope and all of that energy and all that investment and all of that, the dreams, just not come to fruition. It really is. It's so devastating, and rationalizing that and picking up the pieces and understanding that it can be an outcome, and
the scars that come with it, and the I mean, look, if you actually think back to the time, I think it was not long before the last council election that this all went on. And I know at one stage, Mum asked Lisa, how's Dean coping with all this? Because usually, let's be fair, they have these little conversations beyond. They're not going to come to me and go, how am I feeling? Because I'm always feeling good, God damn it.
Secret women's business.
Yeah. But, I'm not an overly emotional guy. I think Lisa's response to Mum was he's just going to keep picking fights with councils and whoever gets in his way until he's done being cranky with them. And that's probably fair. And it was probably why I agreed to do the run. Half marathon was more to knock me around. And I guess, and race, of course, but from a personal point of view, it was I've just got to do something hard, because it was the most helpless I've ever felt in my life. You can't do a fucking thing.
No.
There's no right, I'll fix it. There's no right thing to say.
I'll ring up Davo. He knows how to sort this shit.
Yeah, and that's that's how I usually operate. Hang on, I've got somebody for that. I know just the guy, or I know just the girl, or I sat there like a shag on a rock, and I went, this is fucking ridiculous. I can't stop it. I can't fix it.
No.
I can't do any of the normal things that I want to do when there's a problem.
Sit there and cop it.
You have to sit there and cop it as a bloke.
Yeah.
And then you've also got to read your partner's room, which has never been a superpower of mine. Any ex-girlfriend, current girlfriend, anybody who's ever spent 10 minutes with me knows that. Anything emotionally driven, I'm not good at.
Yeah.
That's not a place that I reside.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there with, obviously, everybody else is hyper emotional. And I got really good at that with Dad, with everything that he went through. I just got really stoic, and I got real comfortable being stoic, and I live there. I'm cranky or I'm chilled. They're your two choices. It's just sad shit, So we watch that, and then you've got to be supportive, but your natural instinct is to go, what's wrong? Can I fix it? And you can't.
No.
So for me, it was a bit of an interesting thing. And then one of the blokes I work with at work, one of the bosses at work, says to me, you're going to do run Huskisson again this year? And I went, I wasn't kind of thinking about it, because I'm doing training.
Considering I just threw me runners out last year and I haven't
I haven't done a thing since. But, look, the whole family ran.
Yeah.
So I did the half marathon, so I was up and going early. I think I finished dead set last, right?
Nice.
And, it was funny because I've had you always get these the odd silly lunatic will go, oh, you finished last. Okay, you didn't finish at all.
Yeah,
you didn't start.
Yeah.
So, bang that up your ass. I'm not shy about the fact that, I'm not afraid to fail at stuff.
But
again, depending on how you look at it. So,
So you didn't set out to win that race. That wasn't your goal.
I didn't show up and go, I joked to a few people. I said, I'm going to fucking win this, see?
Yeah.
And my boss at work, let me tell you, he's a bloody gazelle. He's running all the time. He's doing half marathons. He beat me by about an hour. I finished in about 3 hours and 19 minutes. And, it was, but it was a fun day.
You
grounded
it out. You grounded it out.
Mate, I'll tell you what, and
Did you spew?
Yeah.
Good.
I puked. I was fucking.
How many spews did you reckon you did?
Nah, one during the race, one after the race.
Yeah.
But, I'll tell you what.
Good. No, but you should, because if you haven't trained, you go run a half marathon.
And you don't spew, you've half-assed it.
Yeah.
But I sat there and I went, this is going to hurt. I knew it was going to hurt.
But guaranteed.
I'm often an overthinker.
Yes.
So if I've got 10 minutes on my own where I'm not doing anything, a new business will pop into my head, a video where I've got to smash some politician, I'll start thinking about world affairs. I'll start going.
You weren't doing that when you're running.
There, after the first 2 kilometres, let me tell you, I was the first 2 kilometres, I was keeping up with the crowd a bit. And this is starting to hurt. By about 10 kilometres, the cramps set in.
Yes.
And then I was like, I've just got to get home, one foot in front of the other.
Yes.
And you're just holding on for dear life. Now, when I say I come last, there are a few DNFs, did not finishes. So I was in front of all them, but it was just trudge. And for those of you who saw the end video, the 2 little boys come and jumped into the finishing straight with me. And I was in the absolute hurt locker. And Lil grabbed the phone. She's videoing, and Lisa's thrown the new baby, which again, after the miscarriage,
winner chicken.
I got all the gold medals for the day.
Yes.
And then after that, the 2 older kids went and did a 5K run.
Yeah.
For them, that was great fun.
Yes.
And then Mum and Edith decided they were going to do the 2.5K run. The little bloke, or the littlest bloke, and he ran his little guts out. He had a great time. We were so proud of him. He did great. And Lisa goes, are you going to come and do this with me? Now I can barely fucking walk. So I kind of walked the 2.5Ks with her. She's, Edith's 7 years old. 7 years old. Edith's 7 weeks old.
Yes.
So, and Lisa was cesarean. So she's had a major surgery. 6 weeks later, we're pushing the pram, 2.5 kilometres, going through that finish.
And you're in the pram and she's nursing.
That was what it was. But I tell you, there was a lot of magic in that.
Yeah,
there was a lot of magic in it, and anyone who's, and then we saw some Temora folk, ran into Gav Coleman and family, and we
great.
Who else did I see down there? Chook Henman was down there, and I think Amy Madden was down there. There was a couple of others, and I still see from a distance. And, oh, hey, how you going? And but you sort of. It was a cracking weekend.
No, good.
It was good fun. Like we can't be a robot trying to fix the government all the time because
no, we're humans. We're humans, and you don't want to be mixing with them governments too much, or you'll lose your humanity.
Oh, mate, I'm on the brink with that most of the time, to be fair. But
all I can say is
wild.
Congratulations.
Oh, it was a show. There's no doubt about that.
No, but you're not going to go straight out of the paddock and run the Melbourne Cup and not pull up sore.
Oh, mate,
Hey, look, the Melbourne Cup's only 3,600 metres.
Today's Friday, and I'm feeling all right today. Yesterday, I jumped on the bike with the little bloke.
Yeah.
Ryder and I went for maybe 2Ks on the bikes.
That was enough.
Just roll them legs over, remind you where you're at, and but and then we got off the end there, and I was talking to Steve, who came down and did it with me, and and of course, because I've got a big mouth and I like challenges.
Yes.
Fuck, maybe I'll do the 42 next year. I can barely fucking walk, and I come stone last in the other thing, and I'm going, and as the day went on, the 5K's going on, and the 2K's going.
I climbed the rock last week. Why not go to Everest?
Yeah. That's what it was. And but as the day's going, because you'd hear the commentators as people coming over the line. So the 5K's gone, the 10K's gone, the 2K's finished. And then you sort of hear them going, and this is so-and-so coming in to finish that 42K marathon after 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever it's taken them. And you know what? I went, I wouldn't be opposed to coming last in a marathon.
No.
And I'm such a mongrel dog that I reckon I would skull drag myself over the line just to go run a marathon now.
Yeah, you'd crawl.
No,
the last 5Ks.
Yeah. Oh, look, I wasn't far off it in this time. It was, it was wild showing, I can tell you. It was, but
I can imagine you've done yourself no favours. You even hydrate.
Oh, all right. We'll get out into the weeds here, right? So right before I've spewed, and I got to one of the stations. So I got these stations with water and not soft, the soft drink, but there's the
electrolytes,
drinks and those little gel things. And Steve, who does all these marathons, half marathons all the time, he goes, mate, you need to get a couple of these into you throughout, it'll get you over the line. And I went, fuck. So I'm trying to drink water, and they give you lollies and shit. And I had one of these little gel things, They taste like ass, just for the record, right? They're fucking horrible. Even worse, it went through me so quick. I was looking for a toilet. I'm going, oh shit! Yeah. I spent 2Ks going, I'm in trouble here. Yeah. I'm in trouble here. I'm in trouble. And then your gut sorts itself out. Yeah. Everything settles down. Yeah. And so I'm in the middle. I'm at like the 14, 15K mark.
Not only did you spew, but you nearly shit yourself.
I nearly shit myself. I was this close. I'm telling you, it was wild. It was a show.
I don't doubt it.
Mate, I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. Let me tell you.
Put yourself into the jaws of that reality, that physical reality, and you really do just... I will never forget, I took my kids to swimming club one night, and they were just being pussies. And when I was a kid, I used to do swimming club all the time. 100 metres.
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought all the old people did 100. No, they do 50. So I slotted myself in for 100. Well, here I am. I've dived in. And I'm telling you, the last 10 metres of the first 50, I was gassed.
Now, I swim like a brick, for the record.
But I've hit the tiles and I've had another 50 to pull.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
And you're thinking, if I don't do this, the kids are never going to look at me straight again?
I hit the tiles at the second 50, and I've looked up and I'm just a bit blurry vision and a bit dizzy. And there's people just sitting there going, it's like they'd been waiting 15 minutes for me to finish that second lap. So I get over to the steps and I get out, and I'm really dizzy and my legs are jelly. And I'm thinking 100 metres. I thought I could swim.
Yeah.
But I could swim when I was a kid.
Yes, it's very different.
I'm not a kid anymore.
I used to ride 1,000K a week on a push bike. Yeah. I ride around the block at the moment. I go, fuck, that hurt.
Anyway, look, so I think the message to take out of this is what you did when you're a kid, don't hold true when you're a grown up. Particularly if you drink lots of beer, smoke cigarettes, and just don't treat your body like a temple.
I fortunately never smoked cigarettes, but I've certainly set a few beer drinking records at the time.
I don't, and I certainly don't promote cigarette smoking.
No, I don't really promote any of it, but I promote people choosing what they choose.
Yes.
Goodness me, there are consequences for actions.
Yes. Cheeseburgers.
So what do you got there? You look like you got something a bit more serious happening in your hands there,
I've
Anthony.
got something absolutely... I don't know what to make of it.
Right.
It came across my desk today, and it's from...
Is that Nick Rees?
That is...
Nick Rees.
Nick Rees.
What's that spud up to?
Would you believe that this publication is called Inside Local Government? Anyway.
That's a terrifying thought, but, Anyway.
Listen to this. Australian first community safety officers hit Melbourne streets. City of Melbourne Council has launched its new safety officer program.
Fuck me.
With 11 trained officers hitting the streets to deter antisocial behaviour and connect people with the support they need. They're going to save us.
Oh, fuck.
They are saving us, aren't they?
They think some of them believe they are.
Hang the fuck on. Isn't the federal government's job, don't they supply the defence force? Now, don't the state governments supply the police force? So why the effing hell does the local government have to supply safety officers to walk around in your community? I don't get it.
There used to be a thing called Neighbourhood Watch when I was a kid.
But not even that, mate. There used to be a thing called Me Mate Down the Street.
Yes.
And there used to be a thing called a community. And there used to be a thing called this shit doesn't happen here because we all stop it.
It's not going to fly. Yeah. That's right.
Listen to this. Our community told us they want to feel safer and more supported in the CBD. And we've listened, the Lord Mayor said. Now, this is Melbourne. Now, we spoke about Melbourne out of western suburbs there a couple of weeks ago where kids were getting chased through the street and chopped up with machetes. Melbourne. I wouldn't feel safe there either. But why? What have we come to as a society where we need the local council to put security goons on the street to make people feel safe. Like people, I grew up in a community where I felt safe every second of every day. Every second of every day, I felt safe. It was unbelievable. My childhood was obviously a golden thing. I remember me and my brother jumped on our push bikes one day, and we grew up at Ganmain. And we thought,
we went to the Ganmain.
Let's go for a ride on our pushy. So we rode down to Maddle.
Yep.
For something to do.
Yeah.
Now,
what's the kilometre? What's
10 Ks.
Okay. Yeah.
10 Ks on our little 20-inch pushies.
Yeah.
They weren't racing.
Game on, let's go.
That's a fair ride for a couple of kids.
Bloody oath.
Anyway, we gets down there and we're thirsty, so we went down to the footy ground and we went into the footy sheds.
Found a tap.
The footy sheds at the Maddong cricket ground, which is the MCG for anyone who doesn't know. And we went into the sheds, and next minute there's a brown snake crawling across the floor, so we shit our pants and ran outside. And we found a tap and had a drink, and we wandered downtown, and of course we're at the other end of the universe at Maddong, and we went to the phone box. Now, this is back in the day when people didn't have two cars in their family, so Dad had taken the car to work that day. It's his turn to take the car to work with his mate, and Mum was at home with no car. So we had no idea what would. So we went into the phone box, and back in the day, this is on the exchange, so we got the phone, and the lady come on in the Maddong phone exchange. She goes, "Hello, number please." No, I'm in the phone box. To her credit, she put two and two together, and she worked out that we were some kids whose mum was in Ganmain, and she actually connected us.
Yeah, right. Yep.
And Mum goes, "What the hell are you? You imbeciles! You get on their bikes and you get back to Ganmain forthwith." And here we are, we're knackered.
Yeah.
We've just pulled 10 Ks.
And then you're doing another 10 and you're going to do it faster than all the way home because you're in trouble now.
So off we set. Back across the universe. Anyway, and we didn't fear for our lives once, except when the brown snake was in the footy sheds.
Yeah, that'll make most people jump.
But the rest of
But community-wise, you didn't have anything to fear.
And the community looked after us.
And
it was just like I say, that's how communities used to be out in the bush. But nowadays, people are petrified of life, and we've got, mate, these blokes, they're not packing firearms, but they look like they've got capsicum spray and tasers. They're wearing stab-proof vests.
Yeah, because in Melbourne, that's what happens. You need stab-proof vests because these fucking lunatics that we're importing from all over the world, it's countries that are not compatible.
Have a look at them. Have a look at the bloke. Like, they're absolute massive gorillas.
A couple of them are pretty solid units, for sure.
What are the size of that big unit?
Oh, I know, right? Never go at him.
Like,
he's almost as big as I am.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. Here we are living in little old Australia, where people used to give a shit about each other and look after each other, and we're absolutely shit scared.
We're importing the third world. We're getting the third world, and we're becoming the third world. They're not going to fucking assimilate. No, they don't want to assimilate.
Well, even for the people in Australia, the standards of behaviour are slipping. There's no concern for each other, and until we stop shitting our pants and actually start standing up and
absolutely,
don't be scared. Look, honestly, 99% of the time in Australia, you're going to be okay.
Well, once upon a time, not so much. I'm not so convinced anymore.
No, even today, I'm telling you, yes, there are some situations that aren't quite right.
Like when hacked up by machetes in fucking Melbourne.
Yes, but I still think that a lot of the fear is concocted. I think a lot of the fear is propagated. I think a lot of the fear is seeded into the community because everyone, wants a government to protect them. As far as I'm concerned, Nick Reese, piss off, sort your shit out. Go and get the coppers and the Defence Force to sort this out. Get the governments to sort the shit out. Mate, I don't want my council rates paying for people to walk the streets, making me feel safe. I want to feel safe in my own community. I want to be protected by my own community. I want my community to stick up for me, and I want to stick up for my community. That's how communities work. We look after each other because we're a community.
Yeah.
We don't need goons running around protecting us from people in our community because we are the community. Don't you get it?
No, they don't get it. And we've become so apathetic, and we've become so docile, and we've become so...
It's just
So-
not good enough.
Well, it's not good enough. It scares the shit out of me. I've got a little girl, like a tiny little one.
Yes.
You know, by the time she's a woman, I'm
Well,
going to be an old man. I need to fix this shit now.
Hopefully the community will have grown up and actually worked their shit out and got through this rough patch and actually be a community again where they look after each other, because that's what communities do. They look after each other. Now, exactly what you did tonight and what caused the late start to the show. You went next door and you provided first responder care in a situation where they needed someone
Well, sure.
to help.
Yeah.
And that's
Lisa and I went over there and we passed babies around and we held the lady's leg together. And,
and you helped and you waited, and you supported the family whilst you waited for the people who knew what was going on to come and help.
Yeah. No, and then one of them goes, "Oh, we were watching your videos and the phone rang." And I go, "That's fantastic."
Yeah.
But I mean, look,
that's community. That's what you do. I remember down in my workshop, down in the main street before I moved up into the industrial area, there was a next door, a single lady, elderly single lady lived next door in a weatherboard house, a simple home. One morning I've gone out the back to work in the back lane at the back of the workshop, and I've looked over the fence, and here she is. She's hit the deck. She's on her back, stuck like a turtle. She couldn't get up.
Yep.
And I've jumped the fence and gone over and helped her up and carefully, checked, and then got her a drink, and we called an ambo, and they came down and they assessed her and they made sure she was okay and she wasn't dehydrated. She'd been there for an hour and a half. She'd fallen over and she couldn't get up.
And do you know
if we weren't there, how long was she laid there?
Well, when Dad broke his neck,
yeah,
he was face down in the dam for, I think they said, about 16 hours or something before anybody even noticed he was missing.
Well, just look, when you say a dam, obviously not.
No, it was. And again, I drove. By the time I got from Canberra, I got the call. I was working at a restaurant in Canberra. To the time,
but he can't hold his breath for that long. So he must have.
What had happened was he was wearing an Akubra.
Yeah.
Riding his horse on the bank of the dam, and this is the story, I guess, as he told it with all the excitement at the time. So best recollection and understanding of how it went. I was in Canberra, so I didn't see it.
Yeah.
The Akubra actually snapped over his face.
Yes.
So he was face down, sort of in the mud more so than the water.
Yes.
Otherwise, he would have drowned.
Yeah.
And again, depending on how you look at it, and some people go, "Dean, you're really harsh." There's a two-way side of that.
Yeah.
But apparently meat ants were starting to have a bit of a feed.
Yeah.
And it's not a thing you could do. Paralysed, face down in the mud with this Akubra effectively kept his airways open the way it was placed in the mud.
Yeah.
Now, if anybody was actually the ambos or whoever actually found him, want to clarify any of that and tell me I'm wrong, fuck, I wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly.
But
that's
was
the version of events
that was the version that I was given at the time. I had time to get from the restaurant in Canberra into the car, get to Temora as the ambulance was pulling him in. So he's at a farm out near Area Park. What happened? He was sort of living on the property and undertake, whatever the arrangement was, and then came in and around. As they were pulling into the driveway, I was pulling in from Canberra.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty serious sort of a show. And, people did that for him then. And it's, there was... when he was up in St. Vincent's, the big thing was he wanted to get home because tomorrow would look after him. That was how we felt about the community. Yeah. And he was right. Yeah. The men's shed were phenomenal. Yeah. The soccer club painted his house. And the
he used to bowl into the back door of our workshop and spend half an hour just having a yak just to fill his day.
Yeah. The rugby union, a lot of the rugby union boys.
It was rough as guts, and he'd four-wheel drive that bloody electric wheelchair in, mate. I'm telling you. He'd put it in places.
And he'd get bogged and he'd annoy the piss out of people, and he'd, I remember actually I was telling one of the boys at work today, we were sort of, these conversations just happen sometimes the way it is. He used to, because he had a claw.
Yeah.
Was how his hand was sort of,
Yeah.
and his movement was pretty
Yeah.
limited, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
So he's a quadriplegic, C3, C4, if memory serves. So he's pretty well buggered from here down with minimal movement. So it's a couple of degrees better than Superman. What's his name? Christopher Reeve.
Yes.
If anyone's old enough to remember Christopher Reeve. But anyway, he had this electric wheelchair with like a little joystick. And he'd get his hand over the top of it and he could sort of drop. If he was on the wrong meds, which had happened quite often because everything's, shit's out of whack, people would find him asleep. But if he fell asleep, and I'll just do that with the thing, he'd have his hand on the thing, he'd fall asleep. And if he went that way, his whole arm would go that way. And they'd find him just doing circles, sound asleep in the middle of whatever street.
Yeah.
And somebody would just sort of get out. Hey, Charlie, you all right? What's going on? Oh, shit, whatever. And a few police at the time, and every now and then they'd come and tune me up about, can you go and get him to slow down or whatever? Because he's going too quick. Then so, fuck you. I'm not touching that fight whatsoever. That's all yours, boys.
Yeah.
You've got the badges.
You've been trying to slow him down since he was on motorbike.
yeah, that's right. Fuck if I'm having that conversation. So, stuff like that was pretty interesting. But, he wanted to be here because he valued that sort of community element. Yeah. And it was very, very interesting how all of that played out. Yeah. From go to woe, some people deserved more credit than they got with what they did with him. Yeah. Oh, Buck Furman was fucking phenomenal. Hollywood Lewis. Yeah. Those guys were phenomenal. They did all the background stuff, never put themselves in front of a camera. And I'm not saying that the guys who were in front of the camera were necessarily bastards. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that there was, in those circumstances, there's always somebody who's posing for the camera. And there's always the guys who are just going, oh, fuck, I'll sell raffle tickets.
The job and
I'll go and do, and you need all of them to a point.
Yeah.
You do need all of them to a point. But I mean, the community element where we're at now, the part that is interesting, I guess, to me, I'm very, very worried about the country that we're in. I lose a lot of sleep over it. It stresses me the fuck out. And I'll tell you, because I could see these things happening, I understand it far better than I would like to. Sometimes I wish I was a mushroom and didn't read it and then go, fuck, that's going to happen, that's going to happen, that's going to... If you talk to Annie Dye about certain things, she could sit there and go, Dean told us all this was going to happen 6 months ago. She'll remember the conversations and we go, that's going to happen, then that's going to happen. That guy got elected, you watch what will happen here. And I just do it in passing. I can't help it.
Yeah. Because
I'm just naturally very in tune with it. And
maybe you just don't believe the bullshit and you actually see it for what it is.
Maybe that's what it is, but we're in a very, very precarious position and we should be very, very nervous as a society.
Yeah, but again, we've also got the part of humanity within us. And for every bit of evil, I always believe the world, this is my theory on everything, the world stays in balance because it's round. Okay. Now, if it got out of balance, it would spin off into the solar system, into the universe and into other universes, and it would create all sorts of chaos.
Yeah.
So, in that space, there's always been evil and there's always been good. And they seem to stay in balance. I see something on it in a daily basis and I'll say, that is terrible, that is so evil, that is disgusting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you've got your eyes open, you can see something.
You can find good as well.
Yeah. I went and did the production of the Tomorrow Public Showcase yesterday. That whole episode with Tomorrow Shire Council and the disgusting way they did me in relation to the upgrade of the audio and lighting at the town hall.
Yeah.
I haven't let that take away the pleasure I get from working with those positive people and the school groups and the kids and seeing and just playing your part and just putting on, like, even just from the average person who goes to a show, if they can hear the speeches, if they can hear the music, if it's of a high quality, if it doesn't blow their head off, but it's good and it's got a bit of push to it, and the kids have a good time, you know what I mean? Like, I've done my job.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah,
You know, and that's where I sit. That's the good bit.
Yeah.
Now, there's a bad bit to it. That's not my problem. I spoke to someone the other day and they said, because of circumstances around what they're involved with, they didn't like a certain place. And I said, no. He said, you don't like that place. It's not because you don't like the place. It's because of the obligations that someone else has put upon you, and they've made it difficult for you to exist there. Like,
Yeah, you've had a hard time in that community or at that location.
so like I say,
look, I hear you, but I guess I've probably spent too much time reading, you know, Sun Tzu's Art of War
no, I'm telling you, there is
Machiavelli's The Prince. I go,
I have seen the dark side of this community. I'm telling you,
Oh,
I have seen the absolute underbelly of what this community can bring and how disgusting it can be.
This can be the best community in the world.
Yes.
It can also be a sneaky little shit pile at times in certain areas, as we certainly uncover on this program kind of regularly.
So I don't want to be naive, and I don't want to sound like I'm frigging sugar-coating shit.
No.
But I do. I just don't want to lose. Look, if we lose hope, then we might as well just.
Mate, if I'd lost hope for the country,
yes,
I would have, and I've thought about it, packing up and finding a different country.
Yes, but where?
Correct.
Yes.
I always come back to the same thing, and I've been politically active since I think officially 2013, right? I've been going, something fucking wrong here.
Yes.
Something wrong here.
Yeah, a council in Melbourne are putting their own on the street.
That's right.
That is
our taxes are going up, but we've still got to get taxed more for. Yeah. And people say this stupid phrase to me, and my fucking head wants to explode every time I hear it. And I guarantee you've probably thought it yourself. Taxation is the price we pay to live in a civilized society. It's not particularly fucking civilized.
No.
It's
actually becoming uncivilized rapidly.
It's becoming rapidly uncivilized. It's becoming a police state.
Yes.
I'm not confident that the amount of money we're being extorted is being spent wisely enough on our best interests.
And if the politicians had the courage to lead and create the society that would protect the individual and create a community and care for each other and show some empathy and actually show some leadership in that space, then I think the populace would follow, and I think we'd be in a much better space.
I think that boat's sailed. I think that ship's gone, and I'll tell you.
No. You can always turn the ship.
Oh yeah, we're going to turn it around. As I said, if I didn't think it was fixable, I'd be on the gate out, right? I got into the political side of it because
you wouldn't have gone for the run.
Well, I wouldn't have gone for the run. Correct.
No.
Right, but I've also watched in my space politically, with activism, and it's always been about effectively telling the government to fuck off and freedom and liberty and self-responsibility, self-reliance, all that sort of thing. I've seen heroes fight. I've seen, and again, I'm not going to slide any of these guys good, bad, or different. I've been Mark Latham near the food chain at various points. John Ruddick all the time in the world. David Lionhelm, I love the bloke to death. Craig Kelly sort of rose and kind of fall, and then Ricardo Bossi was a huge one, and I know a certain amount of the followers here go, Ricardo, best in the world, worst in the world, shill, whatever. And now we see the Topher Fields, and we see the Monica Schmidts, and we see all these people, right? And they get this little bit of wind in the sails, and up they go. As soon as they get to a certain point, they all have to do the same thing where they ask for money, or can you donate, or can you whatever. And you know what? They've got bills to pay. And like the rest of us, they've got everyone breathing down their neck, and this shit takes a lot of time and effort and energy. So I'm not mad at any of them, and I don't agree with all of them on all things at all time. But when I watch them bickering, for fuck's sake, if you're sitting there waiting for somebody to save you, none of these,
the enemy's over there.
But and they're never going to figure that, right?
Yeah,
that's why the enemy wins.
Yes,
because we're busy going, oh, Topher's a bastard. I know Topher moderately well. He came on a previous series of podcasts. So I did.
He's okay.
He's okay, and he's got some great points, and he's not robbing anybody. He's not grifting anybody.
No.
He's put his balls on the line. So have most of the people, the names that I've mentioned.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting there at home and you're going, you know, so and so is going to fix it. So and so is going to save us. And I wake up to about 40 messages in an inbox I didn't realize I had this morning from people go, "Fuck, mate, we've seen you on these videos. You're fucking great. We're all with you. Da 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 da. You need to, you know, why haven't you run for parliament?" I go, "Oh fuck, please do a quick Google because I'm fucking everywhere." But I'm not going to save you either.
No,
I'm going to do my best to put the country back where it should, where I believe that it should be.
But
and
I'm going you can do is your day to day.
Absolutely,
and your day to day affects that many people.
I can get up.
They have to do their day to day, and everyone has to do.
Absolutely, and this is my point. You know, Ricardo Bossi at one stage, and I know Rick relatively well. I haven't spoken to him the last sort of year and a half, 2 years. We've probably been off kilter. I don't know what he's doing. I've heard good, bad, and indifferent. And you know what? People have probably said the same about me. Whatever.
Out of it.
Yeah. Well, I think he's on just different platforms. Anyway, none of my business. I'm not his keeper. He's not mine. When we have interacted, we've got along quite well. My point is, there was a period of time there where everyone thought Ricardo Bossi is going to save Australia.
Yeah.
He's not.
No.
I'm not.
No.
You're not.
No.
Albo most fucking certainly is not. But as a group, as a collective of, and I'm all about the individual.
To play into that, we've got
the
launch today. Well, 25th of October. So this is fresh.
Yeah.
Stand Up for Coolman. Now, here's another group that have said, let's try and influence some positive change in our community.
Yeah.
So exactly what you're talking about. This is another example of
people are taking.
Yeah. So Stand Up for Coolman, 146 followers.
Yeah.
Already.
Yes.
So there's 146 people in the Coolman community or the wider community who are interested in their own community in Coolman, and they want to facilitate some positive change in that community.
Yep.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Absolutely, it is. And you know, no different when we had Paul Fennell and Mick Henderson on here.
Yeah.
And then now Paul's doing the One Nation thing, and I've had a few people rip raw me for how dare you support One Nation. They failed to vote on this bill, or they failed to vote on. Liberal, Labor, they can all fuck off. But the minor parties are flawed. They are. One Nation is flawed. I like them better than I like every other party in Australia other than the Libertarian Party. And the Libertarian Party is flawed. It's very flawed. I didn't try to fix it from the inside. I helped build a certain element of it.
Yes,
but it's flawed.
But even my profile's flawed. Your profile's flawed.
I'm one of the most flawed. I'm one of the most flawed people getting around.
So but
I'm one big fucker.
No, I get where you're coming from, and the idea that tearing each other to pieces when we've got a common enemy sitting over there is retarded.
It's very, very foolish.
Yes.
And I watched it happen over and over again. I've watched it now for years.
But we have got a common enemy.
We're building up we are building up we're getting to a point where I've got random people who I would never have thought pay attention to the shit that I spout. And my style hasn't changed that much. I think I've been a little less politically correct than over previous years because I'm done now with these pricks.
No, maybe just people are getting more pissed off.
People are starting to catch up and they're starting to go, hang on a minute, fuck, what haven't we noticed? Yes. What haven't we noticed? And now we're here where people are starting to step up into a different realm, and I'm happy to see it.
Here's these people. Stand Up for Coolman. So get out there on your facey.
Give them a like, give them a
follow. Follow them and start to get involved in your community over there. Now, they'll be active. And the same thing that we've spoken to the people behind this, and honestly, it's just purely from...
And they're going to be welcome to come online and have a chat with you all and tell you what they stand for, because you know what? Anthony and I disagree on a few things.
Yes.
We are not 100% united on topics at times, and it will be the same. No different for Nell Henderson, no different for the others.
We agree on enough of the important things to hang out together and think it's worthwhile.
And to try and make the joint better. So
here we are. Time this week for our standard segment, which I think is a pretty funny segment. when we do Rick Picks.
Rig picks. How'd we go
Now,
this week?
We know that the Temora Independent is an absolute rag for our current mayor, Councillor Rick Furman. Now, their absolute PV is 10 photographs in one edition. Now, this edition gets released once a week. Now, to have 10 photographs of one individual from the Temora Shire Council indicates to me that no one else in the whole community does any single thing that's of any merit.
No, apparently
Now,
not.
That's pretty sad when you've got 6,500 people in the community and you've got one individual who gets 10 photos in one paper.
It's
So, this week, edition Thursday, November 6th.
The Hit Job Herald. And I wouldn't mind mentioning just before you start, I'm betting that the fact that we're in the hole for $3.5 million isn't in this paper either.
No,
Didn't get a Guernsey?
no.
So, ladies and gentlemen, particularly off Temora, why are we $3.5 million in the hole? And why have we gone backwards to the tune of $4 million? Because we're up 600,000.
Even, well, the question
And why is it not being
reported
on?
Yes.
Why is it a secret?
Yeah.
Again, secret squirrel. I fart in town and it makes the fucking paper if they think they can get some mileage out of it.
Now it came out.
You know,
I haven't got the figures in front of me, but I'm sure it came out.
You don't smile in a photo and it's a fucking headline.
Yes.
Because the Temora paper is fucking hopeless. And certain elements of Temora Shire Council, and again, it's not the workforce that I'm overly concerned with. You guys are generally fucking rock stars. But the hoi polloi, if you will, the only reason that it wouldn't be front page news that we're in the red to the tune of $3.5 million is because they don't want the general public to know, because it's not a fucking good look.
Well, the thing is, this newspaper got released yesterday on the 6th of November. These financial statements came out on the 16th of October.
Yeah.
So that's 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks?
That's 3 weeks of what I would consider to be a huge local news story.
Well, it's just a local news story. This is the financial state of your
community.
Council.
Yeah. And they're going to bill us for it. Let's be fair. Our rates are all going to go up. They're going to get excited and try and tell us it's for our own fucking good. And we're going to pay it because we have no choice.
And this information...
And these arse-hats can't count and can't fucking be transparent.
This information is available on council's website. It's published. It's the minutes of the council. The agenda was published prior, and this was in the agenda, and then it's been published in the minutes. So it's been available in the community for a month.
I'm highly in tune with a lot of this stuff, but let me tell you, I'd rather fucking pull my toenails out with fucking pliers than go searching through council minutes.
You shouldn't have to. You should be able to rely on the paper.
That's what I'm saying.
You should be able to rely on the paper to bring you the important parts. Now, again, I will read you the important statement that was included in these minutes of the 16th of October. And the important statement is this. Council achieved an operating deficit of $3.549 million for the year ending 30 June 2025. Now, if Mr. Fisher at the Temora Independent wants a headline, there's your headline. Council achieves an operating deficit of $3.549 million for the year ending 30 June 2025. Right, I can't do anything for you more, Mr. Fisher.
If that's not next week's headline, I'm going to go to town on these pricks. I'll advertise. I might even take out a full page Facebook.
I'm going to print that report out, and I'm going to take it down. I'm going to physically put it on Mr. Fisher's desk to ensure, and I will video the event to ensure that Mr. Fisher
stream it
has not
missed the story.
Yes, because
he's not underinformed.
Mr. Fisher picks up lots of stories from council, but that one hasn't gotten through.
Hasn't got through, mate. I'll put a couple $100 on Facebook advertising in the area just to make sure that everybody on Facebook knows that we're going backwards.
Now, in a good news story, our friends down at the Railway Hotel at Temora, Dave and Leanne and Chef Mark and his Happy Kitchen staff have just been awarded the best palmy in New South Wales.
That's an impressive title.
by the AHA, the Australian Hotels Association. So they're not without credence or credit.
Been around for a long time.
The AHA. So that's a hats off to you guys. Congratulations.
Yeah, good
Great
job.
effort. Putting Temora on the map, doing a great job down at the pub. And yeah, hopefully you keep kicking goals. Now, on the front page, as well as our friend Michael
What's his name?
Yeah. National throw out net zero.
Well, no fucking help of yours, Michael, because I believe you didn't fucking support Barnaby's motion to throw it out when he put it up to Parliament.
Well, it's
You,
on
you
page
shit
4.
the bed, son, as usual.
But it means nothing when you're in opposition, and you could have done something about it when you're in power.
Correct.
So absolutely hollow bullshit as far as I'm concerned. But hey, that's just my opinion. Nationals throw out net zero. Who cares? People are going to throw the Nationals out. I think they're done. Now, Rick picks. Front page. Zero. Okay, keep the meter running. Page 2. 0. Now, here's a good news story. Temora Ex-Services Club have generously donated about $100,000 to various community organisations throughout Temora and surrounds over the past 12 months.
Well, that's nice.
That's
lovely.
pretty good. It's a community club.
Yeah,
Good
that's
effort.
lovely. Yep,
Temora
cool.
Ex-Services. No, page 3, no pictures of Rick.
So we're
Page
two of
4.
Michael What's his name?
Yeah, we've got Michael's story, and we've got a bit of a story with Steph Cook and Tara Moriarty and Ab McAllister and Dave about
Isn't Tara Moriarty? She'd have to be a Labor minister, wouldn't she?
yeah, Minister for Agriculture and the Minister for Regional New South Wales.
So another Labor minister. We are becoming a Labor stronghold here in Temora.
Yeah,
Albo must be loving it.
this wasn't at this was I'm just trying to see where this photograph was actually taken. It's not in Temora. Gundagai. So they were down there talking about the demerger, among other things. And they're talking about action for drought-affected farmers. So that's a fair thing to talk about. No, here we go. We've got a bit of Melbourne Cup stuff from a few things, a bit of socialising. Oh, here we go.
So
We've hit page 8.
Page 8.
In the Coolaman news,
Michael McWhat's-his-name's got 3 tonight.
Michael McWhat's-his-name.
He's at 3.
He's going all right.
He's right up there.
Now,
He'll end up famous if he's not careful.
Coolaman Shire Council were honoured for their role that they've played in the support of Re-Rock over the years. Now, there's some really interesting people in this photograph. We've got Michael McWhat's-his-name. We've got Megan Mulrooney, who's the CEO of Re-Rock. Tony Donoghue is the CEO of Temora Shire Council, or the GM. Sorry,
Of Coolaman Shire Council.
Coolaman Shire Council.
He's the bloke who was very, very upset that social media was being used to counter his newspaper
No,
articles, or is that a different
Dave
bloke?
McCann.
Dave
yeah.
McCann, right. Sorry, I get a bit confused as to
So
which
Mr. Donoghue's boss,
yes,
for all
right.
intents and purposes.
Right.
Miss Courtney Armstrong from Coolaman Shire Council. Councillor Rick Furman. So that's his first appearance, and he's smiling happily.
I've always, unless he's grumpy in that other photo, he's always.
A fellow called Peter Sharp, who's the Mayor of Lockhart Shire, and our friend Brett Whitworth from the Office
Hasn't
of
he
Local
been arrested yet?
Well,
Like, I know they're eventually going to come for me and have me arrested for wrong thing, but surely he's getting close.
well, we don't know, but there was sort of there's been some disagreement over what Mr. Whitworth might have said and what the Minister for Local Government, Mr. Honig, might have said.
Yeah, of course. I have no doubt there'd be lots of disagreement until they work out who's falling on a sword or who's getting a pay rise.
And then we've got the GM of Temora Shire Council, Miss Melissa Boxley, in that photograph. So there's a bit of a gathering.
A gathering.
A gathering. So we'll call it that. So that was on page. We had to wait till page 8 for our first picture of the mayor.
So we don't have any news per se, but we've.
No. There's not much news.
We won't count the rural. The rural's Fucking
Well,
got
that's
nothing
not
to do with something to do with us.
Nothing on page 13, nothing on page 14, nothing on page 15.
So we got through Michael. What's his name? Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
We're back.
Launch it up.
We're back.
Hey,
We're back in the bloody. Here we
we're
go.
back. We've got page 16. He's got the he's in mufti.
Yeah, look
He's
at that.
wearing a flannel.
Jesus, have a go at this.
Flannel with no tie.
My goodness.
Is he being a man of the people?
Fucking hell.
He went
I bet he's got a Dean and Irv Spin Doctors t-shirt on under that flannel.
I'd say so.
I reckon he could be wearing one.
Anyway, he was down at the Greyhound track for the launch of the Roofton book, so I don't know whether he dressed down for the occasion.
When mingling with the less respectable families in tomorrow,
he might dress down just to
blend in, you see.
But here we go.
So we're at 3. We're at 3 for Michael. What's his name? 3 for
Here's the one though.
Uh,
On page 17. Now he's had to wait to page 17 because he has absolutely staunched it up.
Isn't he just? He's got them. Look at him.
He's got.
I'm a bad motherfucker.
He would have put extra shoulder pads in. Now I want to compare that one
with that one. Same.
That one.
Is it the same photo?
No, it's actually not. So just for the viewers, that's the one that appeared.
I feel very intimidated looking at this sort of
September 18.
This sort of power and prestige.
Now he's posing like Madonna, strike a pose. That's the one that's in.
A lot of Run DMC, yeah, and they remember that. It's quick to rock a run, it's right on time. Yeah, I remember. He just needs some Adidas on.
It's just next level shit, isn't it? And
but you know, look, the actual topic: New South Wales country mayors oppose federal speed limit lowering proposal. I called when I was the president of the Liberal Democrats in New South Wales for them to fucking raise the speed limit on really good roads. I know that they're hard to find in this country, right? I think our freeways should be 100 up to 140. If you want to drive at 140 and you're competent, I've got no problem on those big major roads. Now, I was held down, of course, because, people will die on the roads. So, fuck, use your brain. If you can't drive at 140, drive at 110. That's why there's 2 or 3 lanes for. And I wasn't declaring that it should be done on every freaking road.
What do you think?
You know, I wasn't suggesting 140 down Temura's main street.
What do you think?
That's pretty gangster. That's very gangster. I like it.
Be careful tomorrow. Be very, very careful.
I think it was Be Careful, Councillor Irvine. I remember the recording. Yeah, it was you that
it was pretty threatening.
Yeah.
It was very threatening, wasn't it?
I don't think he's had the fucking cojones to tell me to be very, very careful, but I imagine that he's thought about it.
Well, it's a significant power imbalance when you're sitting in a council chambers and you've got someone sitting up the front with all of this support.
There's a significant power imbalance when I go, fuck off.
Well, anyway,
that's not happening.
That power imbalance doesn't occur in other settings.
No.
And I think in other settings that type of behaviour doesn't occur.
No, well, I reckon in other types of settings you'd probably get a little smack in the chops.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Be very careful.
Perhaps. Yeah. That's right.
We don't know.
Well, I tell you, I've got a little. Oh, sorry.
It's just the persona that's being conveyed here. So.
Oh, look, strength, power.
New South Wales country mayors oppose federal speed limit. Like Albo's
shitting himself.
His pants. Albo, quick.
Yeah.
Huggies to the lodge.
Fuck, Rick's called me out. What am I going to do?
Get some huggies up to the lodge.
Fuck.
Because Albo had shit.
Yeah, look, but I mean, look, insane that we saw Albo's performance with the Donald, and that was kind of funny as well. But look, as far as the speed limit thing goes, it's fucking ludicrous. They need to pull their heads in.
Mate,
I agree with them on that. It's nonsense.
Ever had better cars?
Mate, well, this is what I was just about to say, right? So when I made that big call, I think it was 2022, 23.
We've got cars that can do 300k an hour.
Mate, I turned around and made that statement, and some fucking monkey from, I can't remember the government organisation, because it was a couple of years ago, right, got on a debate stage and waffled on about One, I'm a lunatic who wants everybody to die, of
Yeah.
course, because of course that's what it is.
Yeah,
I just like to think that if I can make the trip from Wagga to Sydney from 4 hours to 3, I reckon that's all right.
I like to think Germany's got things called autobahn.
Correct.
And you can drive very, very fast because they've got very, very good cars and very, very good roads. And you can go very, very fast.
After this discussion,
very, very safely.
After this discussion, right, this is fucking prick. And I'm sure you can Google it and find it. Look up Dean McRae, Liberal Democrats, speed limits, whatever. You'll find a couple of articles somewhere. I don't know, some are paid articles, some aren't. I'm not paying it for you. But anyway, the crux of the matter was, I made the argument. We got some pretty fucking shit hot cars coming into Australia now with all these safety ratings and all the tech in the world and all this sort of shit.
Tires,
we pay phenomenal amounts of money because for wonderful roads. The reality is, in certain places, 140 between Melbourne to Sydney on that main highway make a hell of a lot. And no, that when you say to, that means up. That doesn't mean drive down Temura's main street at 140. You fucking fear-mongering dickheads. But this idiot came back. I had to Google him afterwards to try out who he was. I can't remember his name. 400 grand a year this jumped up fuckwit was on. Yeah. Now he's come out. One called me a lunatic. Fair enough. Lots of people do. His response was, the cars in this country are not of a high enough standard to cope with such pressure, and the roads are not up to standard for such high enough pressure. My response, in my usual, pretty fucking straightforward style, is, you're on 400 grand a year to fail then, dickhead, because your job is to make sure the roads are good and that the cars are up to snuff. That's why you're on 400 grand a year. I'm doing this for free, right? This is your failure in your role. There is no reason whatsoever.
When Holden finished building cars in Australia, they had a ute that had a 5.7 litre V8 engine in it.
Yes.
And a 6-speed manual gearbox.
Yeah.
And it could probably pull 300k an hour on a drag strip.
Yeah.
Now
140 is not going for these things. These engines aren't even warm.
The top a second.
Yeah, that's right. This is complete bullshit. It's a dumb argument. It's right up there with it, and it's all about driving us towards these automatic cars, public transport. Don't use the fucking roads.
Autonomous.
We've autonomous driving. We're fucking climate change. You pricks out in the country with all your farting cows and your diesel engines. You need to stop. They can get fucked.
But that's electric cars are capable of those types of speeds as well. And
oh fuck, some of those electric cars go.
Yes, and Australia is ideally placed for high-speed rail, but we just haven't ever had a government with the vision or the ability to bring that to fruition.
We haven't had a government with vision for 40 years. I can't remember the last real vision I've seen out of anybody.
I'm going to go to a reserve out near Barambula. For anyone who doesn't know, that's east of Wagga Wagga on Sunday. And I'm actually, to get into the gate of this reserve, you turn off the Sturt Highway and you actually travel on the old highway.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, that was a goat track.
Yep.
The new highway isn't.
Yes.
The new highway is really wide. It's got really wide shoulders. It's got a pretty good surface. It's capable. And look, honestly, the idea of travelling everywhere at 160k an hour is ludicrous. But certainly when you get onto those good quality roads in those certain locations,
of course,
there was this, like up in the Territory, I think there was a point there where you had an unlimited speed limit. I think they've capped it now at 130, or they might even have brought it back.
Yeah, I'm not sure,
but these roads are in good order. They were gun barrel straight. You could see a K there and a K there out into the wilderness to make sure you weren't going to run into a camel.
And let me tell you, a hell of a lot more focus at 140 than you are at 100 k's in these cars.
If you've got 6 hours going that way,
yeah,
and if you can do it in 5, well, why not?
Absolutely.
But
your focus is up, your time's better, you're less fatigued, you got shit to do, and people are grown-ups and they're adults and they need to make their own decisions. And if you need government to wipe your ass for you, I think we've got bigger problems.
The biggest thing causing problems, I think, look, here we are. You go down to Wollongong now, and you drive down the hill, and you're more than likely going to run into a feral deer that's going to write your car off. Now, this is a feral deer that the government haven't thrown any resources at to actually cull and control. And,
Well,
yeah,
you know,
all of the things that are slowing us down are actually fault of government.
We also need to think back to when the Australian government had its ass kicked by a whole bunch of emus, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, Australia hasn't got a great record at defeating fucking animals. There was the Great Emu War,
yes,
and the Australian military got its ass kicked by a bunch of birds with machine guns.
Yes.
So go and have a look at that one, because that's an interesting one. Now, I do have a bit of a clarification. No, I'm going to have to make on a little topic.
All right, now, we're wrapping up, aren't we?
We're about to, but I'm going to do this one.
So we've got that one done. We've got, now, first things first, stand up for Coolman. Get behind it. Anyone who cares about their community, get behind it.
Yes. If you see something on Facebook, somebody posts and you like it, but you're upset with the topic, the angry emoji, because it actually helps stifle the post. Thumbs up, shares, comments help.
Wows.
Wows are good. It's the little angry face is actually a trigger for Facebook in particular. If you put an angry face, so if I go in there and say, oh, pedophiles,
even though it upset you.
Yep. If you go there and say, look, when I say something along the lines of pedophiles need to have the shit kicked out of them, whatever, and you put on the angry face because you agree that they're shit, that actually stifles the post. So it's worth you noting that, ladies and gentlemen.
Facebook.
It's a little, just a little tip.
One thing I will say,
yep,
quickly to wrap something up. A guest on the show, Councillor Andrew Thaler.
Yes.
From Snowy Monero Regional Council.
Yep.
Was actually back in the council this week. Now, Mr. Thaler has served consecutive 3-month suspensions, and he's been issued with a third, which is currently under appeal. The tribunal member at NCAT has stayed the third suspension, pending some legal discussions.
Yes.
So consequently, Mr. Thaler attended council this week.
Fair.
For a workshop.
How'd it
and
go?
for some other things. Well, quite well.
Didn't get arrested for existing?
Didn't eat any babies. I don't think he ate any babies while he was there.
That's excellent, Andrew.
I don't think anyone passed out. I don't think there was, dogs and cats living together. I think it went okay.
That's good.
So
that's always good.
I hope that democracy can be
restored. Yes, he was voted in by the people under the democratic rules. Therefore, he should be in that fucking room. End of story, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, hopefully, through the processes that are in place, some of the condemning of what occurred could come about. So anyway, that's really interesting when you see an individual councillor who's been suspended for consecutive 3-month periods, but he's still in council.
He's still there.
He's still representing, and he's still representing the people who elected him. So watch this space.
Yeah.
That's really...
Will that be back on as soon as he's gag ordered, sorted, or whatever's going on with
him? He's... I'm not going to elaborate on anything else, but he's in the middle of some significant proceedings.
Yep.
He's obviously holding his own. Actually, probably
he must be getting fins up if they're allowing him back in the building.
Well, that's right. He's back.
That's how it works.
And from just my perspective, and this is only my personal opinion, but it seems to have thrown the kitchen sink in, and the kitchen sink might have bounced off.
They have a bad habit of throwing kitchen sink at anybody who doesn't.
But anyway, he's got a kitchen sink resistant hat on.
Yeah.
And his sunglasses obviously treated to resist kitchen sinks. So.
I know you watch often, Andrew, and we appreciate you, mate.
So anyway,
you keep up that good fight. Very important.
Nah.
Now, this week I did put up a post on Facebook, got a little bit of traction, a little bit of action, because I received an email from the school that bore me some concern.
Mm-hmm.
I take child protection stuff pretty seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I also am the first to say that my oldest child, the baby's still perfect. Baby's perfect.
Well, they're allowed to be.
But I'm never going to be the guy going, my child can do no wrong, right? He can be a bit of a handful. He's turning into a young man. He makes mistakes.
Oh, my kids are always guilty until proven.
Yeah, fucking oath. Anybody who's seen me on the side of a football field will go, geez, I get it all the time. Geez, you're hard on that kid. And then other people go, geez, you're too soft on him. And I guess it's just all perspective. But he was invited to participate in a program. He's the sort of kid who very hands-on. He does well in hand situations. Now, last year, between year 6 and year 7, he was involved in a bit of a bridging program run by Steve Reardon. I don't know if Steve was running it exactly, but Steve was the mentor in the space.
Put some positive male role models in front of.
It went really, really well. He thinks the world of Steve Reardon. Steve Reardon seemed to get along well with him. I was more than comfortable with it because Steve's a pretty well-known entity. Not just because he played football, but as a human, he's a well-known entity. He's a pretty stand-up guy by all reports. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say he's a dead shit, right?
No, it's quite the opposite.
So Ryder would come home, they've built something, they've welded something, they've whatever. So he was engaged, having a great time. Cool. He's the sort of kid that needs that, and there's a lot of kids that need that shit. There's a lot of, particularly little boys.
Seriously, the most important thing that you can put in front of a young male is positive male role models. If you put negative male role models, they will follow those.
They'll follow because wherever the colour and wherever the whiz bang.
Males are pretty dumb.
Yep, bloody hell.
And I'm testament to that. But we do follow older
men,
older role models, and one thing I'll tell you quickly, just when I was mid-teens, a lot of my role models were working class guys, tradies, shearers, truck drivers, people like that.
Yep.
And I was probably blessed with enough school smarts to perhaps go to university.
Yep.
But a lot of these guys used to say, oh, well, them universities, they're full of university-educated idiots.
Yep.
And a bit of that stuck. And I followed the trades and I've worked with my hands. And there was a period there between, say, 20 and 30 where I thought, geez, I might have pulled the wrong rein here. I'm looking at these people that got these jobs where they don't get their hands dirty and they get paid a heap of cash. And I thought, geez, I might have stuffed up here. But then you get a bit older and you actually see what you can do with your hands and and what they can't do.
And you know what? How often do I ring you going, how the fuck do I fix this?
No, but even
because I'm not.
But to the point of these people have been institutionalized. They tell you what the right way to do something is, but they can't do it.
Oh, absolutely.
And even sometimes the way they think about things is so completely wrong. They've got no common sense as a rule, and very few practical solutions. And I don't want to pick on them, but
some of them are picked on, not all of them.
You can't learn that shit out of a book. You have to get hands-on. I've got respect. There's an architect called Frank Lloyd Wright. And anyone who gets a chance, go and look up Frank Lloyd Wright. Now, he's built some absolutely smashing buildings. They're unbelievable. He got challenged on a column design he had for the Johnson Wax office building.
Right.
And he built this elegant column that flared. It was like an upside-down wine glass, like a flute. And it came out to a large base, and it had a section of glass that would allow light to enter into the internal space. And he was challenged on the strength of these columns.
Yeah, righto.
So he built one.
Yeah.
And then he proceeded to put about 10 times more load on it than the design called for.
Right, just to prove a point.
Just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Because he could.
Fair call.
He was one of those guys who combined some school smarts with some common sense.
Yeah.
And he built beautiful things. The people who can combine both, I think, are the lucky ones. If you're really good at what you do, but you're not real school smart, well, you're still really good at what you do.
Yeah, shit.
And if you're school smart and you can't do anything else, well, you're pretty much good for nothing.
I often say to the younger boys, and obviously with Ryder being the age he is, I've had a lot of his mates and things come around, and I hate school and da da da. And I say it to all of them. If you're not into that type of academia, learn to read, write, count, get your maths right, get them basics right, and then go and get yourself a trade or a profession or whatever. But so what's happened is that previous program is not existing anymore, whatever the story was. But anyway, I got
funding or whatever it might be.
Whatever the story was. I got
to flesh out. And sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, that's all right.
That is the columns
that he built
in this Johnson Wax building. These are just the most, well, he's absolutely just one of the, is that a thing of beauty? That is a workspace for people. That's their desks.
Yeah.
People would have got up in the morning and gone, yeah, yeah, Frankie.
Go and work in there. Yeah,
I'm going to work there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like, have a go at it. Like, this guy just, and these are the columns that people challenged him on.
Mm.
It's a wonderful story. Go and look at it. So, yes, sorry to.
No, that's all right. That's all right. That's what we do here. You and I bounce, and sometimes we talk about one lot and then bounce onto the other, and that's sort of part of it. No formal structure. But anyway, so I got an email, and I'm one of those parents that is, I'm pretty sure my kid comes with a warning label when it comes to a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like some kids, dads don't have, I guess, a force of nature type personality. As Lisa said to me on the weekend, she goes, you're a fucking lot. She's, talking about my personality and how I am. And she's right. I can't dispute it, right? I am a lot. I'm a handful. I'd fucking be hard pressed to live with me. But if I smell something that doesn't quite sit right with me, I'm not going to just go, oh, it's a school, everything will be fine, right?
Yeah, don't just.
I'm not abdicating.
Superpower.
I'm not going to abdicate my parental responsibilities to the school. And I've spoken to other parents who go, no, during those times, that's for them. That's their problem. Yeah. My response is, like, fuck.
It's your kid.
It's my kid.
It's your problem.
I will be. And there's a lot of stuff that I'm quite happy to happen.
Yeah, anyway.
There are a lot of discussions that I'm quite happy to go on. Anyway, I got this email. There was a couple of things in it that didn't quite sit right.
Yeah.
There was a thing called the Cockatoo program. And there's no point me not talking about it.
Yeah, no, you spoke about this last week.
Yeah.
And you said there's no follow-up from.
There was no follow-up. There's a lot of holes. I look at Cockatoo Initiative and there's a picture of fucking blokes with birds and fucking shit.
But
nothing.
One bloke who's got
and a bloke that had no surname, right? So here's what went on, right? There was a backwards and forwards with the emails. And then there was this about your kid. And there's been this incident. And then there was that incident. And then we've had to do this. And hang on, right here. Let's start from the beginning here. Anyway, I had a bit of a chat to the vice principal the other day, day before. So, mate, I know him. I don't just do this for my kid. But if I'm not a big mouth, there's a lot of parents there who probably don't have the gumption I've got. Sitting there, fuck, I didn't notice. What do I do? Oh, fuck, I can't. They're still scared of the vice principal now that they're grown-ups. So I don't have any concerns.
No, they're scared of the stigma of being
a troublemaker or
of actually stepping outside the herd.
Yes.
Oh, no, we've got to be good sheep.
My concern wasn't for my kid directly, and I'll tell you why. My kid's my kid. If somebody's fucking around, I have no doubt he's going to go, Dad, you're not going to believe what happened here. He's got a fair, I think, and sometimes it serves him well, sometimes it's a problem. He's got a bit of a fuck around and find out with my dad thing going on, and that's cool. I'm glad he feels secure in that way. But anyway, so I've had this chat with the vice principal. We had an email backwards and forwards. We've argy-bargied about a few details. I still didn't have the bloke's surname, nor his credentials, qualifications, who this guy is, right? Now, and I harken back to when I was coaching kids soccer. I was fucking a disaster.
Well, in the community, who's coaching your kids soccer.
People knew who I was. The parents there had my phone number. They know the story.
But they've seen you at swimming club when you've been that old.
That's right. Anyway, so this poor bloke, I just don't know who the guy is. the name was Trey, right? No, it's
Yeah.
on my Facebook, so no point in pretending. And I didn't know the guy, one way or the other. Couldn't be him out of a police lump. So I finished this phone conversation with this vice principal, and I was certainly less than satisfied with any real answers. I got don't really know the guy's background, don't really know much about the program. It's a really brand new program. Yeah, but okay. You're facilitating this thing. I'm asking some very basic questions. What's it about? What's the premise? What's it about? You're pulling my kid out of pulling my kid out of school for 2 hours a week for well-being, which can mean a lot of things. And if you've ever heard about the Safe Schools program, do your homework on that one and fucking panic. Anyways, I relented and I said, right, all right, you can go to this thing tomorrow, because he was like, Dad, I want to do it. You know, we're going to the gym, and he loves going to the gym. I don't know who this prick is. And again, he could be the best bloke in the world. Could be another Steve Reardon 2.0 in the space. At the time, I didn't know. He come home from it yesterday. I said, mate, how'd it go? No, great bloke. Top fella. Really nice. You know, and I went, that's great. Excellent. He goes, by the way, here's a flyer with all the information. Here's the guy's business card with his name. We got a first and a last name and a phone number. And I went, hallelujah. I don't ask for much as a fucking parent. But when I get an email from the school saying we want a person without a last name to build rapport with your child, I go, who the fuck is this person that's building rapport with my child? Anyways, so I've looked the bloke up, as you do, jumped on Facebook. I know his wife. I know his wife's entire family. Have known them since we were children, to the tune of that soccer team, or those soccer kids, was his brother-in-law. Forgive me if I'm wrong, the wife's brother, whatever the fuck, right? He's effectively somebody that I don't know that I know.
Well, if the people you know are hanging out with him, that sort of gives him some credit.
It gave him a bit of credit immediately. And you know what I did? I flicked the mother of said child, who I didn't realise still works at the school. A Facebook message at 6 o'clock this morning said, hey, you go. Look, I put up a post the other week about A, B, and C, and I've just finally got the guy's last name. I've looked him up. He's married to one of your kids. She goes, he's a great guy. I saw the post and I saw some of the people being pretty horrible to him. And I said, well, slow back, because they weren't being horrible to him. None of us knew who he was. We couldn't identify the bloke. That was the problem. There was that transparency, that directness of what's this program, what's it about, blah, blah, blah.
Trust us. It goes really bad.
Exactly. And I'm just not in that club. So anyway, I said to her, look, I assume that do you like the guy? Families have some weird shit going on. Okay. No, he's fucking great. You will love him. You'll have no dramas with him in the wide world. Mickey Mouse. So I got far more benefit from a Facebook message to this bloke's mother-in-law at 6 in the morning than I did out of the school officials, which is still very disappointing. Now, I said to her, my concern wasn't necessarily for Ryder. It was, how come there is none of these other bits and bobs? She goes, look, have a chat to him. You'll find X, Y, Z. He's great. I said, well, now I've got his phone number. I will. Rang the bloke today. Now, and again, for the people who follow and get automatically paranoid that every school program is fucking dodgy, not everything that they do is dodgy. It's a matter of siphoning through the bullshit. I spoke to old mate today. I rang him up. Dean McRae here, mate. I don't know if you know who I am or not. He goes, I'm guessing you're the father from... That would be me. Mate, I'm not trying to be the douchebag dad. I'm trying to be the guy who gets the answers to questions when he asks them. Because the school doesn't own my child. The government doesn't own my child. I'm responsible for my child. I'm the dad. It's my job to protect him, and I don't know who you are. Now I know who you are. I just wanted to let you know that from a personal position, I've got no dramas with whatever. What's the program about? What's your plan? Oh, we're going to do an hour of gym because I think young boys should be working out. I think it's important for their self-esteem. It's important for their capabilities, and we'll do a bit of the wellness stuff and teach them to look after their mates and helping them through a lot of stuff that probably didn't exist when we were kids. Mate, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Ryder's more than happy to participate. If he gets out along and give him a kick up the ass. All that had to happen, the flyer that I got yesterday with the business card should have come home a week before with the email or attached to the email. This is what the program is, not fluff and bullshit. Because if you read what I posted, which I posted like word for word,
Hmm.
fluff, bullshit, and no meat and potatoes are what it was about.
Hmm.
As one of those paranoid dads who understands what happened with the Safe Schools program, I'm not going to just take words from a school. I'm going to go, I need to know.
No.
And now I'll comfortably say this fella seems spot on. His background seems spot on.
Hmm.
Still a little bit disappointed that the school feels the need to not quite
Communicate it.
well, like remove the fluff. Maybe they were a bit concerned because he's an Indigenous fella that I was going to bloody give a shit. I don't care what colour he is.
No.
I've never given a shit what colour they are. I just kind of wanted to know who the bloke was.
What sort of the person he is.
Correct.
Yeah.
If he's a good bloke, he's a good bloke. If he's a dead shit, doesn't matter what colour you are. If you're a dead shit, I don't want you near my kid.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've cleared the air on that. And I wanted that to be on air.
Hmm.
You know, I'm happy to smash them where they deserve smashing. This fella seems spot on. Seems like a pretty good program. I'll be watching. But I watch all those sort of extracurriculars if you're taking my kid out of school because I want to know what's going on. So for the parents who are probably sitting there a little bit quiet, I think Crossy's asking the questions. I'm fairly comfortable that this bloke will do an excellent job. It'll be good for the boys in that headspace.
And look, the best thing is, in this environment that you've created, if the kids have got any concerns, you've created an environment where they certainly can air those concerns. The worst place a kid who's in a bad situation can find themselves is where they don't feel supported in raising an issue. You know, and that's how all of the historical sex offences in the church groups on that occurred, because the kids were basically, you can't say that wouldn't happen. You, no way, that, well,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
and they just were completely
Isolated and
unsupported in, and even some of the parents were so shit scared of the institution that they would have concerns about bad things occurring to their kids, but they would be too gutless
to do or say anything.
Now, I've been through situations that I managed to fortunately get through my education system in a positive light. But I know that at the same time, at the school that I attended, there were kids who weren't so lucky. Now, I wasn't aware of that when I was there. It's come to light since.
Yep.
That's horrific, and the devastation and the trauma caused to these people, and it's really affected their whole lives. So I think schools have to really be very, very, very careful as to how they run these programs, and they have to be open and honest and transparent, and
they have to be overly transparent.
Yeah, and they have to make sure that the parents completely understand the situation. So,
look, you know, like, I mean, had I got even that real simple flyer at the start of it with a surname,
if you could have rang the guy,
yeah,
what are you doing?
What's this all about? What's the story?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Well, now I know who he is, close to the tune of I know half his family.
Well, that's okay.
You know, and life is good.
You can help that experience, or you can help your knowledge of the way they roll, and you can hope that.
And I can see some positive impacts. And, you know, I mean, look, I've got Ryder who goes and sees a shrink, for lack of a better term. I call her a performance coach. You know, because there's a couple of things that I've discovered. And part of the conversation I had with this guy's mother-in-law this morning was, we've got so many single parents at the moment killing themselves to just pay bills, get roofs over their heads, let alone trying to raise children, be it 1 or 3 or whatever. It's fucking hard going. You can't be everywhere all the time. So you are relying on extras.
You've also got so much of an outside world impinging upon your environment that never used to exist. The whole social media space, where kids are getting influenced from so many other angles, it's very difficult to keep some sort of a equilibrium.
Absolutely. And you've got even 2 household parents, or you've got some cases, you've got split families.
Yes.
And you've got kids pillar to post. And it's so easy for, you know, and then on the other side of it, you've got schools where, and some people disagree with me, there are some excellent teachers, really phenomenal ones. And some of those teachers feel like they're hamstrung or handcuffed from doing what they do best, because some of these kids are out of control. You can't kick them up the arse. And then you've got other teachers that are fucking appalling, who are pushing their personal agendas onto children. It's my job to not push my views, but to raise my family as I see fit.
Your
family.
As a parent, and this is only my personal opinion, but there's a few basic rules that help you exist in a community over the course of your life, and you just hope that your kids pick those up.
Yeah.
Whilst they're.
But you're guiding and instilling your family values into your children. I don't want, and again, I'm not pinpointing any particular teacher at the high school, so don't. And if anybody turns this into that, you're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're a teacher in any school, anywhere, pushing your sexual identity onto children, your political beliefs, I don't care whether you like Donald Trump.
No.
That's not your job. Your job is to go, Donald Trump is the president of the United States. The previous president was Joe Biden.
Yeah.
This guy was Barack Obama.
Yeah.
This is what, happened. And this is, do you have questions? You can certainly in that context say, well, as a teacher, I like this guy, but I like that guy. But at one stage, we had a discussion where one teacher outright declared that Donald Trump's name is banned from a classroom. You can't ban history.
No, you can't ban the president of the United States of America
from discussions of that's right.
Yeah, that's just absurd. That's just stupidity, and that is just
gibbering teacher fucking nonsense. And I don't care how nice
imposing some stupid personal views into
correct
a situation. Now we know that Donald hasn't finished the war in Russia.
Oh, he's failed miserably in quite a few areas.
Sorry, not in Russia, in
Ukraine.
He was going to get that done in a matter of days.
Yes.
I'm disappointed, Donald.
Oh, look.
I know you don't care.
I know
you don't care.
I still like Donald better than I like Biden on the table and Kamala or whatever. Yeah. But he's failed miserably in a few key areas that I thought I was hoping he was going to do exceptionally well.
He seems to throw a heap of stones and then he goes over and he says, "Oh, sorry, I threw all them stones."
Yeah. Look,
he's patched it up with China, and
he's he's very, very unique. I still prefer him in there. I think he's trying to do some really good things. I also think he's had some fuck ups. But guess what? I fuck up a lot.
Yes, but back to the idea is that the idea that a teacher can say that he doesn't exist,
correct,
is ridiculous.
So there are teachers up, not just up here at this school, but in schools who are hamstrung, the really good ones who are just trying to educate. Then you've got the ones who are trying to push their own fucking agendas. And then you've got some who are trying to climb ladders. And then somewhere in amongst all that, you've got these seedy, snaky, cheeky motherfuckers who are touching children, violating children, doing all these sort of things. So as a parent, it's bloody hard. As a child, it can be hard. And I look like...
And all of these things are never found out at the time. It's always after the fact.
Oh.
And the amount of damage that occurs in that interval. So you've got to, you just hope and pray that it's just not a thing. You've also got to have your eyes open, and you've got to check the bona fides. You've got to check the credentials. If something untoward occurred, you would never forgive yourself.
Absolutely. And for the parents out there that think, obviously, I'm happy enough to ruffle some feathers on your behalf, but ask those questions.
Yes.
The schools and the teachers answer to you, not the other way around. They serve you. We pay their wages via our taxes. They're there to serve us, not the other way around. Don't ever forget that. I know principals were terrifying when you were a kid. You're not a kid anymore. You're a grown-up with your own little humans. I just wanted to make that very clear, though. But from all reports, I've done my homework on that little particular post and series. And I just wanted to make sure that the people who knew and were really, really worried about it, that's where that one's unfolded at. So I think that's a good outcome.
We've gone hard for it.
We've gone hard. We're going to do a quick hour, but stuff happens.
All right. No, well, there's a lot of stuff tonight. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. It's Friday.
No angry faces, emojis, share videos. That's important. It helps. It absolutely helps. And comment your little asses off. Makes a massive, massive difference. And have a great week. The Stand Up for Coolaman page. I think it's worth it. More
community activism that occurs, and the more on their toes the councils are, I think the better the outcome will be.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great week. We'll see you next Thursday.
All right, thank you.